And I'm doing that again. Hi, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. And as you can already see in the menu by how Kerbal looks and the background here looks, I've modded the game. I've modded the game a lot. And I just want to show you what it looks like now. I've included a complete mod list in the description below the video. Just check what I put in. The most important part is EVE. That's the environmental visual enhancer. And what else do we have? Yeah, texture replacers and stuff. We need that for the background to change. But look at the clouds. Look at the clouds and look at what you see here in the tracking station. Look at that beautiful background texture. The best thing is, if I look into the sun, I get a sun flare and I can't see the stars anymore. If I look the other way, I can see all those clusters here and there. And if I'm looking very closely, I might even see... can't really see them, but you can see distant planets. This is the wrong view. I've also stuff like X signs. You will see it on the fly what I have. But what I was building at the end of last episode was our rocket to fling the rover into space. And Lunar rover shuttle. Unknown part modules? No! Are you sure you want to yeah. Copernicus solar panels. What if I save now and then open again, load? So we take these away and do the other solar panels. Wait a second. Okay, I fixed it by replacing the photovoltaic panels again, I think. No, it still says unknown part modules. This one doesn't. Okay. I wasn't sure if it's these ones. Let's see, we have it here. In the sub-assemblies. Okay, that works. Okay, so it was these solar panels. The Copernicus mod is a mod that doesn't work. It was supposed to give me the ability to add a ring to Joule, so that it looks like a proper ringed planet. But that doesn't work with the latest KSP version, so I got rid of that. I added this protective shell over it because there's like the struts. These little struts and the photovoltaic panels, they don't... They aren't placed in a way where I can make a protective shell around them, so I wanted to reduce drag so we can have a better ascent, but I tried it and I failed. So I want to replace these winglets with bigger wings. So I want to tell you about what happens. So if you have a big rocket and it's properly built, the center of mass is down here. If there is like a wind current because you're ascending and you're going up like 200 meters per second or faster, and it's worse the faster you are, then this wind current does apply a force to you. And if you start to turn your vessel, the force that gets applied above the center of mass is way bigger than the force applied to below the center of mass, because it's such a big area here and such a small area here, so you need big fins. and I had like the Delta Deluxe winglets with a relative wing area of 0.65. These are smaller. We need proper wings. I think. What are the tail fins? Also have a 0.61. That's also way too small. So I think we'll need the swept wings. Real wings. That aren't steerable anymore, which is a problem. Because we want to steer at least a little bit. So what I hope these will do. Oh god, we need to approach from up here and don't accidentally hit a part to make it two-fold symmetry again. I hate that. So both these sides are two-fold symmetry because I want these... I had it built in a different way. So we'll have to place these hopefully symmetrical just by placing them somewhere and hoping that it works out. I think it works out. So now look at the aerodynamic overlay. Yet this doesn't help me. Yeah, the aerodynamic point of drag is still over the center of mass, and we need to bring it to below the center of mass. So what I'm also gonna do is add Delta Deluxe winglets. A lot of them. Like here and here and no! This is always a problem, that the whole thing gets picked up. Here and finally this doesn't look symmetrical. This is asymmetric. This looks good. Okay, so this has to be placed one further to here. So and let's activate the aerodynamic. Where is it? Ah, it's below the center of mass now. As long as I have all four. I hope it works. I hope it works. 125,000, which is a lot. Which is a lot. Let's look here. The contract window thing doesn't work. I have a mod for that. Is it in here? No, that's just final frontier. What happens if I do... I have no idea how the toolbar plugin works. Whatever. So the most important thing is the thing we have right here, where we hope that nothing changed our stages, which tells us what all our stages are. So we can tell it to be starting at Kerbal at 0 altitude. This is when we start with stage 8, where we have a thrust to weight ratio of 2.08. We need to have one that's over 1 to even lift off from Kerbal. So that's great. And this is the amount of delta V that we have. Once we leave the atmosphere and are in vacuum, we'll see we have a lot of delta V in the upper stages. That's not here when we are in the atmospheric. That's because of the ISP of the different ISP in atmosphere and space. But we can also see how much do we need to lift from the moon, and we have a thrust weight ratio of 5 on the moon to lift off, if the tanks are full when we land, which they won't be. So we will definitely be able to start from the moon. It will be more difficult if we, for example, land on Duna. And then this would still have a 2.8 weight ratio, so we would be able to start there. But it would be, a 2.6 weight ratio in atmosphere. So we would be able to start there with this. And we can see it all from here. And I don't think this is cheating, because a real rocket scientist would know how big Duna's gravitational power and how big Duna's atmospheric pressure is. We would know in advance and we would calculate all that. And that's what this plugin does. It's Kerbal Engineer Redux. It's really helpful. It also tells a lot of different stuff. You see that once we go out. Let's save this. Let's see who will drop off the rover over there, and we see that we have one person, namely one engineer, and one pilot that haven't been around when we planted a flag on the moon yet. So also, I think we'll want to put another scientist in there. Do we need... I want to go into the astronaut complex. Over here. We want to see at the scientist. Can he reset experiments? Yes, he can. They start at 25%, so it's we won't get that much less. But we don't... Courage stupidity value is good here. Does it say how much it's cost? Next higher cost 108,000. It's up there, that's why I didn't see it the first time around. Oh, this one's good. He is courageous and not stupid at all. So Listus Kermanitus is the one that we're gonna send with this as our crew member here. So not Milfil, but Listus. Okay, this is our crew. These are the three only people of our available crew that haven't been walking on the moon yet, so they get the proper treatment. I have science experiments in here. I have a rover below that, which I'm dropping via a Clampotron docking port that I can detach from up there. I will activate the brakes first, which will make the rover not run over these thingies. I will drop him and then I'll fly away with the ship again afterwards. Because I don't want to accidentally topple over the ship. Yeah. Okay, this protective shell also adds a lot of drag to the upper part. So actually, I think... delete fairing. Actually, I think we don't... We're in the wrong menu, that's why it didn't work. I think we don't need this anymore. Is this in the last? Yeah, perfect. I don't think, because that adds more drag up to it. So if the rocket topples, we have less area of surface to worry about. Let's put on the both of the overlays again. This is still a problem. This is still a problem, but at least it won't topple too much. The problem is I can't add any more fins because I can just make custom ones, but don't want to. The problem is once they are away, the center of mass goes up. Once they are away, these ones are away, the center of mass goes up more, and the aerodynamic point goes up even more. They both go up. It's difficult. It's difficult. Let's try to start with this. And so you can see what else we have. We have like stuff here. The resources are permanently locked down here so that you can up there do something different. I have a contracts window plugin activated that should tell me how much everything gives here, but I don't think that it works. Doesn't seem to work. But we have stuff here like how our apoapsis is now, what time we have to apoapsis, periapsisite, delta V, and this is like information about the body we're surrounding. I did make these, so there were default ones, and I modified them to be like this, where it will always show me the safe altitude, and I don't have to guess. because at Eve I think it's like 90,000, but it could be 95,000, and then I would die if I misjudge that, and I don't want to misjudge that. You can't go up and down with the mouse wheel in this view. Okay. Toggle the SAS. Start with a bit of throttle. That's the wrong science window. That's not the one. That's the button I wanted to press. I wanted to start with this science window. Science here and now will alert me about sciences, and then they will show up here. Here will show up when I can do science experiments. Or how does it work? Opens here and now window. Yeah, perfect. That's how I want it. So it will show when we can do science, but we can't do science here because we have done enough science. All of them are on the crew hatch. Let's just start and hope that it goes well. So as we won't be able to steer because of the to steer because of the wings we added. We wanna topple a bit to the east at the beginning and then go mostly straight up, because the drag will pull us down regardless. A bit less. A third of throttle is okay. And we're going through the atmosphere now. And not the atmosphere, through the clouds. The clouds are at 4 kilometers. It's a thing that can be configured, so you can make them be further up. And we're starting to topple. Starting to topple, but it's not as bad as it was before. More speed, please. Less speed, please. Apoapsis height is good. Apoapsis height is really good. Get rid of these. Get rid of those. Go up further. Are we already stable? Yeah, the atmosphere isn't as problematic anymore. Prograde X. We can already go out here. Why are you out here? Interesting. I think that's vanilla. Okay, we are coming out. We're coming up to 118,000. I way overdid it. And this is a much bigger rocket than it needs to be. While testing this, I toppled over so much, but these fins are actually helping me so much. Because all of this does so much drag. Okay, we can now go into stability assist again. We still have over a minute to the apoapsis. Go a bit down and a bit over here, because we want to recorrect our angle on the apoapsis. Add a maneuver. How much do we need for atmospheric? For leaving the atmosphere? We need a lot. We need to burn for 2 minutes. We need to burn in 39 minutes. Okay. Also want to change this way. Yeah. It's too much. Okay, we need to start our burn in 94 seconds. Let's pull it a bit down again and a bit back again, so that the periapsis is just over atmospheric. Okay. So I way overdid it here, but because I was really having problems. Okay. Let's try to go. Radial is the right direction to go in. Okay. That really helped. Okay. We need to burn. I hope we can make it. Otherwise we'll have to go over there and get them from there again. Okay. I talked a lot. I'll see you when this maneuver is done. Okay, the rest of this is fairly standard, so I'm seeing you when I begin my descent to the moon. So, and we are flying around the moon now. I have a weird orbit, but that was the best orbit I could get because I came in very high up. So I have a very big inclination. So the job that says moon crater did say that in the southwest crater there are some, which is I think here, because we look at the moon like this, and this is the southwest crater. And this would be the west far side crater, I suppose. We'll see. I haven't landed in this crater. The last crater I landed in was over here. And my first landing was like right here. So we are now landing over there in that crater because we haven't been there yet. So we'll see where I need to brake. I want to brake like after getting into the sun, so something about here for 120. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we can go like here and burn for... We have 138. We have 138 in this. Okay, this is how much we have. And we want to land inside that crater. So we want to brake here. Okay, we're in low space. We could do crew reports, but we are above the Midlands, as we can see here. And we already did get the Midlands data, so let's warp to maneuver node with a margin of 3 minutes. Oh, it did rotate. That is interesting. Yeah, of course, we rotated around the moon while it rotated. So we can actually do that a bit later to be sure to land near wall of the big crater. So we can drive out of it in case we need to go to the lowlands or midlands for a mission with a rover. So this is where we want to brake. We want to brake for everything we have in this stage. So in 3 minutes. So we're warping here. And we have to align ourselves with a maneuver point, which I did forget to do, which is a problem. Let's go retrograde, which is our maneuver point. It's the same. Stability assist. Go. All we have. Impact biome lowlands. And it's empty. Okay, so our impact biome will be the far side crater. So last time we landed in the east far side crater, this time we'll land in the far side crater. We can't do suicide burns because we don't have any active stuff, but we want to get rid of this. It did wobble a bit with the rover, but it was okay. We want to get a bit away from it. Yeah, that's already perfect. So we want to... What? That's the wrong thing. We want to toggle the gear group. We're going to toggle the brake group because we don't want the rover to roll away when we're landing. We want to be retrograde. And that's already the crater that we want to land in. So for the suicide burn, we would have to burn for 1 minute 26 seconds. I didn't activate the data V. So So you can see where we do that suicide burn is under vessel. No, that's RCS. Suicide burn data V install. Okay. So the suicide burn is if at that point you go full throttle, you need to, and you just stay full throttle, then at the moment of impact you have 0 speed. So this is the one that needs the least data V to land. And this is a thing that you can, of course, can in before calculate. So it's a thing that the astronauts on board of this would know by heart, and they would recalculate it every time they change their course, and it's done automatically. So it's not a sheet that we have it, because real astronauts have that. But can we also add a suicide burn marker? Because I don't think suicide burn marker. No. Only altitude and distance. Okay. I don't want to do a perfect suicide burn. What I want to do is like about 15 seconds before the suicide burn, I want this to do the suicide burn, that I have a proper distance from the ground. But this is a great thing to have. We'll have a slope of 54 degrees at 233 degrees, so that's wow, that's a sheer cliff. That's a sheer cliff where we land, I think. I think that's what it's saying. I think a slope of 0 is flat ground, so we're landing. We would be landing at the side of one of these craters. But this will change because, of course, we're giving speed in the in the retrograde fashion. So we'll pull that from that sheer wall. We pull that towards us the moment we do that. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. In 2 minutes, we are at our suicide countdown position. Let's warp forward 1 minute. Look how close we are. I should have done an EVA. With 48 seconds, I could still do an EVA, but it might be too late. So what I'm gonna do is wait for 15 seconds before suicide burn conditions to go down into the far side crater. Look, we have a Kerbal rise. We have a Kerbal rise, which is completely bullshit because we're rotation locked, as I already told you. So it's not the rise of Kerbal, it's just we can just see over the edge of the moon to see Kerbal, and once we're down inside we can't see Kerbal anymore, which will be detrimental to us being able to send and receive data. I almost did forget to put in the proper suicide timing. Oh god. It counts up. Why does the countdown count up? Because I think it counts up because I didn't perfectly hit it. It already switched to surface, which is good. Or did I make that manually? I did forget. So the slope is better now where we land. 30 degrees is something that our vessel can stand on. So suicide burn was way too early. We did our suicide burn like way too early. This 2 seconds to suicide burn thing, no. I think this is a bit bugged. Because we went from here to inside that crater with our landing point. Slope is 9 degrees where we'll land now. That's great. Once we are below 1,000 meters, I'll do another burn to bring us under. No, I'm doing that now. I want to be under 50 at all times. This is a slope that we're landing upon. Retrograde. Oh, I think this was wrong to do it that way. So stability assist this way. Yeah, that's a way better slope. We land upon. No, that's not a good slope. That's not a good slope. That's not a good slope. We're landing on the rim of a crater, I think. And we want to go over there, which is this direction. Wrong button. Stability assist. We went up and retrograde was all of a sudden. Oh god. Stability assist. This way. Oh, wrong direction. Oh god. I'm doing bullshit. I'm doing bullshit. And I'm doing that again. I'm seeing you in the last meters. 15, 10, 5. Oh! Set 5 over terrain. With a slope of 50. This isn't a slope of 50 degrees. This is a slope of 15 degrees. God damn it. Okay, so the right number is the right one. Okay. So,